Oh, hi, gigpreneur. What is going on? Welcome. Happy, happy Saturday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. My name is Sean Azimi, and I'm your yeah, corporate grinder. I used to be in the mortgage industry. I used to be in a call center environment for a very, very long time, working 12, 14, 16-hour days, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. And until my pancreas quit on me, shut down on me, left me unemployable and with nothing to fall back on. So that sucked. And so now I got redirected to this whole online space and this whole gig economy. And now what I do, I help folks to start a side gig online, and we grow it using social media. If that resonates with you, drop the word side gig in the comments. I'll get back with you after this live. Sheena, what's up? The kids are in bed, even the little one. Yes. So tonight, I thought sometimes on Saturday nights, I like to talk about love and all that stuff. And this Saturday, I figured I don't. you know, just don't feel like lovey dovey. So we're going to talk about money. You know, we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, money. So there are three different income types. Okay. I'm not talking about income streams. That's very different. I'm talking about income types, how you can actually earn an income. So the first type of income is called linear income. Linear income, yeah, linear income is what all of us are used to. I say all of us because at some point I would guess that everyone has had one of these at least. So a linear income is what most of us are used to, and that's you work an hour, you get paid an hour. You work 40 hours a week, you get paid 40 hours a week. Um, you sell a car, you get the commission on the car. You sell a house, you get the commission on the house. Um, you're a hairstylist. I don't know. You work a couple hours, you would get paid a couple hours. So the point is, if you don't work, you don't get paid, right? If you don't show up to work, if you don't put in the 40 hours a week, you just wouldn't get paid, right? So that's linear income. That's pretty immediate gratification. Well, maybe 2, 3 weeks max, right? Well, I guess it depends if you're doing hourly or commission only kind of a thing. It may take a little bit longer to get paid on commission only, but if you're doing the hourly, if you're at a new job, for example, the latest is, they usually take 2 weeks out and then they're 1 week behind usually. So maximum in 3 weeks, you're going to get paid. But after that, it's every 2 weeks, if that's the rhythm, right? So that's linear income. You're trading an hour for dollars. You're trading several hours for a commission, right? Then then there is residual income. Residual income is when you sell something once and you get paid on that same thing over and over and over again. For example, for those of you who have car insurance and pay it every month, well, the guy that or the gal that sold you the car insurance doesn't call you every month and say, "Hey, you want to buy car insurance?" No, you bought it once and then you pay the premium every month or every year, right? And that becomes a residual income because he sold it to you once And every month that you make a payment, he makes a little chunk out of that, right? Same thing with insurance. When they sell you insurance on your health, on your house, what happens is that they sell it to you once, and every time you make that payment, they get a little chunk, right? Same thing with with your gym membership, right? Again, you buy it once, and you keep renewing, and every time you make a payment, every time you cough up a little bit of cash, that person who sold it to you, they get a little bit of chunk, right? So that's why when they say like insurance brokers have a book of business, that's what that means. It's all these residuals over the years that they have collected, and they don't want to go anywhere else because the residual will die, right? So you got the linear income, you got the residual income, and then there's a third type of income, and this is where wealth is created, and that is leverage income. Leverage income is when you make your income off other people, their work, and their efforts. So, for example, let's say that Mr. Subway, right, the guy who owns Subway. Well, he doesn't work at every single one, right? He owns Subway, and what he's done, he's franchised them out so that he will get a chunk from each one, and he's not working each one, right? He sits back and he gets a chunk, and that's called leverage income. That's when you're making, like I said, you're making your money off the efforts of other people. So most of us are not really happy about residual or leverage income. Why? Because it takes a little bit of time to build up, especially leverage income, right? If you're dealing with other people's efforts and work, right? So the best way, would you agree, would if there was an umbrella, if you would, that would combine all these three under it, and you could actually make all three types under this umbrella. Wouldn't that be cool? I think so. Once you understand, income and finances just a little bit, you would not disagree with me that it would be kind of nice to have that option to get paid all three ways with one shot, right? Well, I'm here to tell you there is a profession like that. That's funny, right? The profession that combines all three and you have the ability to put all three to work is network marketing. And I'll tell you why. People get scared, and once I start explaining it, they really don't have anything to say. Okay, in several aspects of network marketing, but this is just the one aspect, and this is the income aspect. So in network marketing, when you join, whether it's a product based platform or a service based platform, by the way, if you don't know what that is and you like to know, drop the word side gig in the comments, and I got a video that's 9 minutes long and 9 minutes short, and it'll give you a very clear idea of what everything is, right? And you'll understand that at the end of that, you'll know what's going on about the online space. So drop the word side gig if you want that. So the reason why it combines all three is this: in a product based or service based network marketing, there is an initial investment for you to start your business, whether it's product based or service based. Let's say you pay $100 and you get your service is discounts on cell phone, let's just say, right? And if it's a product based, I'll just use mine. Why go anywhere else? If it's a product based, for your initial investment, $100, $200, $500, however much it is that you decide to start with, you're getting products in exchange of that. Which means if you're spending $500, you're getting $500 worth of products, maybe even more, because there's always sales and specials and gifts and things like that. So most likely you spend 500, well, with me anyway, you spend 500 and you're getting about 600 $650 worth of stuff, right? So that's your initial. Now, if I introduced the business to you and the opportunity to you, and you decided to go with that package, you bought a $500 package. I'm just giving you an example. You get a $500 package. For that initial package, I get a commission off that. Okay. And that's called linear income. Why? I sold a packet. I got a commission for it. I sold a package. I got a commission. I sold one product. I got paid for it. Right? Now, most likely, you're going to buy next month. Right? You're going to buy something next month, if not the same thing you bought. Right? So when you buy the next month and the following month and the following month, that becomes residual income. Most of the time, I won't call you every month and say, "Hey, do you want to buy that collagen again?" Because we've had that conversation already, and we're in communication throughout the month, right? So for you to buy it next month, the next month, the next month, that becomes residual income. Now, which is great in network marketing, because most of the time people buy again. Why wouldn't they? Right? They buy again. So you're creating that book of business, except there's no book, it's all online. Right? Now, what happens if the person that you, for example, the person I sold the packet to, what happens if that person actually likes this stuff and has a conversation with his or her friend, and his or her friend decides to buy something? Am I going to go and say, no, 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 I can't sell beyond you. I only sell to you? How dumb would that be, right? Obviously, we all love referrals. So we're going to welcome that. Now, what happened here is that I wasn't there. See, I wasn't there when you and your friend had a conversation, and then your friend decided to buy what you bought, for example. I wasn't even there. My name didn't even come up in the conversation. And yet I get paid on that as well. So that is called leverage income, because you did some extra work without me even being there, and we both got paid. That's called leverage income. So with one person, when you bring in one person to your network marketing team, you have the linear income, the residual income, and the leverage income all together under one umbrella. Isn't that beautiful? You can't do that at your job. If you bring in somebody, let's say you work at McDonald's, I don't know, wherever. Let's say you work at a salon, okay, and you're a barber or you're a hairdresser, okay, and they have an opening for another hairdresser. So you tell your friend, hey, they have an opening. Your friend comes, gets the job, The most you would get is a referral fee one time. There's no leverage. Whatever your friend does, the customers, the clients that he or she sees, all the pays, you're not going to get a chunk of that. There's no leverage income there, and there's no residual income there. How would you have a residual income? He would have to come in for another haircut, and you would have to do that work. So there's no residual build up because you actually traded your time for that service, right? So when people, one aspect, when people shoot down the opportunity for a network marketing platform, well, they really don't understand the three types of income. Because of why on planet Earth would you not want all three? Right? When you understand how the formula works and how the profession works, then you get a little bit more excited. Now, here's the beautiful thing about network marketing, and this is the only profession that does this. I'll give you two actually, that it's only done in this profession. One is that when your friend bought something from you and I wasn't even there and we both got paid, here's how that happened. You get paid your share, I get paid my share. I don't get paid out of your share. You still get paid the same. I still get paid the same. It's not like you were going to get $10, but since that person was really technically, I'm supposed to get paid on it, it's not like they give you 8 and then they give me $2. No. If I'm supposed to get $2 and you're supposed to get, and you're supposed to get 10, you get 10, I get 2. It's not out of your pay, which is beautiful. It's very rewarding. If you've ever worked in corporate or retail, and if you understand this, you'd be like, oh my God, that's like heaven. Sounds like heaven. Yeah. That's really the three types. Now, here's another thing that most people don't know about this. Is that in network marketing, and only in network marketing, there's no other profession like this, that you can, let's say, you can once, well, how do I say this nicely? You can will your income to one person or two people, right, after you die. So let's say your network marketing company is at a point where it's making $10,000 a month, okay, and you have a will, right? And in your will, you say, you know what? If I die, I like to have my son or my daughter to get this income, right? Well, when you die, right, that income immediately goes to that person without break and without reduction. And guess what? It continues for them. Now, whether they want to do the business or not, the business will fluctuate or not, the income will come to them forever until they will that income to somebody else. And as long as this company is around, these incomes will be willed and continue to pay out to people. That's why they say when you want to leave a legacy behind, probably don't want to work for a corporate. After 15 years, they give you a watch and kick you out of the door. They're not going to let you, will your income? What the hell is it? No. We're trying to reduce yours. So when you're in a network marketing platform and you understand the profession and you understand the types of income and how powerful this is, then you'd want to build it, obviously. Now, it doesn't come easy, right? It's not like, oh yeah, it's a breeze, piece of cake. No, you gotta toughen up, right? You gotta grow your skin thick. I call it rhino skin, right? So, I mean, it's amazing. You can have all three types of income. That's why wealth is created here, right? If you really go after it and if you really do it, there's a method to the madness and wealth. That's how wealth is created because then you have so much leverage income coming in, plus you have so much residual income coming in, then your linear income is not really going to be that significant. That's why you have expanded your time frame and you also expanded your income. That's why when they say you can work for your time and money, it's the only profession that will give you that. There's no other profession. Anything else, if you own a business, you're somehow hooked. Some employee won't come into work one day, one person will be sick, somebody will steal something, somebody will fall in front of your store, inventory will go, I mean, just all crap will happen, right? So when you're running an online business, not only you have the backing of a company that's got all inventory, shipping, customer service, everything all covered for you. Like you don't have to worry about all that, right? All you do is you bring in customers or people who want to grow, right? And if you're doing that, what you're really doing is you're focusing to grow your residual part and leverage part. Because in time, what will happen is that you'll have so many people that are buying from you every month, and you have people that are spreading it for you and them. So, like I said, your residual and the leverage income will grow, and the linear income, what you bring personally, won't matter that much. It'll be nice, but it's not as much as the other two combined. And at the end of the day, you can will your income. You can't do that anywhere else. Not even NBA. Imagine if an NBA player who's dead would have an income. How would they have an income? They're not playing. So how can they will that income? But because of the work you've put in and because of the hundreds and thousands of customers and people that are running their businesses and buying products, even after you're gone, then that income deserves to go to somebody and you get to pick that person. So this model is very, very powerful. Once you understand it, like I said, once you understand the profession, the types of income, how it works, you would want to learn how to grow it, build it, start it, all that stuff. You'd be like, huh, okay, teach me how to do that, right? Otherwise, you'd be looping around in your linear income world. Maybe once in a while you get some residual income, but it's not going to be much, right? Depending on what you do. And the thing is, even if you build that residual income, you die. You cannot will that income. So let's say you're an insurance broker. When you pass, you can't pass your book of business to somebody else. You cannot will that. They'll have to start their own book from scratch. That's why when they say you want to leave a legacy behind, really consider this profession, because it may be tough, rough a little bit. It may be looked down upon with some people who don't really understand. Look, we reject the things we don't understand, right? Like for example, when you say, "Hey, you want to take a look at this?" Like, no, why not? Well, I don't know. I just don't want to. Okay, right. So we reject the things we don't really get, right? Well, that's kind of the stuff you got to work with. You got to help people understand it more. Then they can have an educated decision. I talked about this last night, right? So you, at the end of the day, you can learn about it, understand it, then decide. Don't be one of those folks that reject something they don't get. Okay, you may be rejecting something that could change the course of your life and the ones around you. So pay attention to the details. Start to learn more, and then decide. So with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let this feed grow. If you feel like this is worthy of sharing, do what you got to do. Spread the love. Tag a couple of people. Let's go. And with that, by the way, if you're not following me, let's go already. I'll tell you all day how awesome I am. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Threads. I go with Side Gig Sean. And with that, I am Sean Azimi. I'm somebody who used to work in a call center environment, corporate world for a very, very long time, many, many years. And I worked 12, 14, 16-hour days, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, until my pancreas shut down on me, left me unemployable with nothing to fall back on. Literally nothing. And like literally. And that sucked. So I got redirected to this whole online space, and now I help folks like you, like me, to start a side gig online, and we grow it using social media. If that resonates with you, drop the word side gig in the comments. I'll get back with you after this live. And please be ready to have that conversation. Don't disappear in thin air, which blows my mind. Anyway, this is not the one I'm going to vent out in. So, with that, I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again.